anything else?
Nope. All right, and action. All right. This is Laura, and I'm Andrew, and this is our Milwaukee Museum vlog.
So today we studied the Zuni Pueblo Indians of New Mexico who represent village life. Through analyzing the style of the Zuni Indians, we have found that culture affects posture based on resources we have to achieve everyday tasks needed for survival. So, for example, the Zuni men spend long hours metalworking, spinning thread, and making silver ornaments and jewelry. So these tasks are performed from the ground, as they did not have the tables to support their tools. This affects posture by creating a forward head flexion that is controlled by an eccentric action of the neck extensors. The village men are also hunched over their work, creating protraction of the scapulae. Excessive neck flexion and protracted shoulders are also emphasized when the men carry large sticks and heavy loads on their backs with a strap around their forehead. The neck flexors have to control the heavy load pulling back on the forehead, and the back extensors are being excessively loaded. Now, the women of the Zuni culture also work from the ground, as their main task is shaping and painting pottery. The women carried their finished pieces across the uneven terrain on top of their heads, which causes compressive forces on their spinal column, which may result in slight scoliosis. Also, both men and women sitting on the ground while hovering over their work could cause a decrease in lumbar lordosis and decrease in thoracic kyphosis, ultimately creating more of a rounded back. Now, compared to our culture, our environment gives us the opportunity to stand and sit up straighter while performing daily tasks, as most things are risen to our needed heights. Examples include a computer screen that allows our chin to remain parallel to the floor. We eat and do other small daily tasks from risen surfaces such as a table. Also, instead of sitting on the ground to perform tasks, we have the luxury of chairs that are meant to support the natural lumbar curvature of our spine. For carrying heavy objects, we have backpacks that have two straps around the anterior shoulders and other forms of machinery, such as wheelbarrows that allow for proper body mechanics. So
I looked at the environment and how it influences gait, and I believe the environment can influence gait in many ways, but the one I'm going to focus on right now is the terrain of the environment. So terrain can influence one's gait by having the body adapt to the terrain's patterns in order to create an efficient gait cycle for everyday ambulation. So if you think about the human body or any task that it performs, we do things to maximize production for as little energy expenditure as possible. And in doing so, for gait, the body will develop certain walking patterns to adapt to the terrain or environment that it's exposed to. This is because these functions, such as like walking on uneven surfaces, will determine the structure of our body. And if it undergoes these repetitive loads every day, since our bodies adapt to these stresses and movements, in turn to maximize its functional output. So, in this exhibit of the Eskimos, you can see in the background, obviously it's snowy and there's a rocky, uneven landscape. So, the Eskimos have developed a greater knee and hip flexion in order to get over the snow instead of having to drag their foot through the snow, which would slow their step down and be less efficient for their body movement. So if you've ever tried to run through shallow water or snow that's up over your ankle, you realize that you have to pick your feet up and over the surface in order to travel faster and more efficiently. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting energy trying to break through the water or the snow. So the results of this greater hip and knee flexion, along with the lesser amount of traction that snow has to offer, there would be a shorter stride length that these Eskimos would adapt to, and it'll possibly result in a longer stance time. So in comparing these exhibit environments with our own, we need to think about the surfaces that we have constructed for ourselves and walk on primarily every day. So we've built sidewalks that we walk on every day and roads that we travel on, as well as just the flat surfaces that we work on, and we play on level sports fields as well. So you can see we're really not on that many uneven surfaces compared to more like indigenous cultures would be. So our environment is a lot more simplistic in the sense of biomechanics. Our gait patterns allow us to we allow to have a longer stride length because of these flat surfaces, and shoes can also help with this as well. And this is just so we can maximize our function by traveling faster and easier, which is better for our convenience and efficiency.
All right, so overall, in relation to physical therapy, this experience has shown me the attention that needs to be paid to the body mechanics our patients have while performing daily activities and how they affect their posture. So the resources they have that can help them achieve good posture while performing these tasks must be assessed during our treatments.
But nevertheless, in physical therapy, we do use things. So if you think of the snow the Eskimos were walking on, we use things such as like foam pads, weight shifting techniques, and just uneven surfaces to help people regain their pre-functional status and just increase their stability. And we can think about this in order to maximize just anybody's general stability and decrease the risk for further injuries.